Welcome back to another video. In this one, we'll be talking about the Fantastic Four and why Marvel is in trouble. And I'm not just talking about a few bad movies or disappointing shows. I'm talking about something much bigger, the slow death of audience trust. Think about it for a second. When was the last time you were genuinely excited for a Marvel release? When was the last time you felt that anticipation? That sense that you were about to see something special? For most people, it's been years. The MCU used to be appointment television. Every release was a cultural moment. Endgame brought nearly $3 billion worldwide. People dressed up for premieres. They avoided the internet to dodge spoilers, and they theorized about every single post-credit scene. Well, now, most Marvel projects feel like homework. They are something you watch because you're supposed to, not because you want to. The numbers tell the story. Phase 4 saw multiple box office disappointments. Audience scores are at the lowest since the early days. Disney Plus shows are getting cancelled after one season, and for the first time since Iron Man changed everything in 2008, people are asking the question that seemed impossible just 5 years ago. Is the MCU finished? But here's the thing, Marvel has been here before. In the 1990s they went bankrupt, in the 2000s they were selling off their characters just to survive, and then they bet everything on a B-list hero in a metal suit. And we all know how that story ended. Now they're making that same kind of bet again, not on a genius billionaire, but on Marvel's first family. The Fantastic Four could save the MCU, or it could be the final nail in the coffin. Let's be honest about how we got here. Endgame was a masterpiece of payoff. 11 years of storytelling, character arcs and emotional investment all culminating in one perfect moment. Tony Stark's sacrifice, Steve Rogers passing the shield, it was the end of an era. It was the kind of cultural moment that happens once in a generation, and Marvel had no idea how to follow it. And what came next was a flood of content. Disney Plus shows that felt more like extended commercials than actual stories. Movies that existed to set up other movies instead of telling complete stories themselves. Eternals introduced 10 new characters in one film and expected us to care about all of them. Quantumania turned Ant-Man into a generic sci-fi adventure and wasted one of Marvel's best villains. Secret Invasion promised political intrigue and delivered, well, let's not talk about Secret Invasion. The problem isn't that these projects were bad, although some were. The problem is that they felt directionless, like Marvel was throwing everything at the wall to see what stuck, rather than building towards something meaningful. Audiences noticed, the excitement died, and trust eroded, and suddenly the MCU felt less like a cinematic universe and more like a content factory. So why should we care about the Fantastic Four? Why is this the project that could save Marvel? Because the Fantastic Four represent everything the MCU has forgotten how to do. They are Marvel's first family. Literally, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm aren't just superheroes. They're a family unit bound together by tragedy, sacrifice, and love. Their powers aren't gifts, they're consequences. Reed's stretching represents his burden to fix everything. Sue's invisibility reflects her struggle to be seen. Johnny's flames mirror his need for attention. And Ben's rocky exterior hides a heart of gold. These aren't gods or billionaires or even super soldiers. They're people who gained incredible abilities and had to figure out how to live with them and how to maintain relationships, how to balance responsibility with personal happiness, and how to stay human when you're anything but. The MCU used to understand this. Iron Man wasn't about the suit, it was about Tony's journey from selfish to selfless. Captain America wasn't about super strength. It was about holding on to principles in a complicated world. Recent Marvel projects have forgotten that powers are just a backdrop. The real story is always human. Fantastic Four done right could remind audiences why they fell in love with Marvel in the first place. They also represent something the MCU desperately needs. Human storytelling at the center of cosmic stakes. Yes, they'll face universe-ending threats. Galactus is as cosmic as it gets. But the Fantastic Four have always been about how a family deals with impossible situations together. It's not about stopping the threat, it's about who you become when everything is on the line. We need stakes that matter to the characters personally. Reed's guilt over what happened to his family, Sue's struggle to keep everyone together, Johnny's need to prove himself, and Ben's acceptance of what he's become. That's infinitely more interesting than Cosmic Deity number 15, who has no personal connection to the heroes. And then there's the cast. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Ebon Moss-Barack as Ben Grimm. This isn't just good casting, it's inspired casting. Pedro Pascal brings gravitas and vulnerability. We've seen him play the reluctant father figure in The Last of Us, the charming rogue in The Mandalorian. He understands how to balance intelligence with emotion, which is exactly what Reed Richards needs. Vanessa Kirby has proven she can handle complex and powerful characters. She's not just there to be the girlfriend, she's a formidable presence in her own right. Sue Storm deserves that kind of actress. Joseph Quinn and Ebon Moss-Baccarat are the wildcards, but that's what makes them exciting. Quinn brought energy and heart to Stranger Things. Moss-Baccarat has the dramatic chops to make Ben Grimm's tragedy feel real. Compare this to the previous Fantastic Four attempts. The 2005 version treated them like a superhero sitcom. The 2015 version tried to make them dark and gritty. Both missed the point entirely. The Fantastic Four aren't comedy relief, and they're not grimdark anti-heroes. They're a family dealing with extraordinary circumstances. This cast seems to understand that balance, and that's why the stakes are so high. This film isn't about the Fantastic Four, it's about everything that comes after. The Fantastic Four introduces Doctor Doom, potentially the MCU's next big villain. They're tied to the multiverse, to Secret Wars, to the future of Marvel storytelling. If this film fails, all of that comes crashing down. But more importantly, this is Marvel's chance to prove they can still tell a complete, satisfying story. That they remember what made the MCU special in the first place. A successful Fantastic Four film looks like this: characters we care about, stakes that matter to them personally, and a story that feels complete on its own while setting up future adventures. It's emotional weight balanced with spectacular action. It's science fiction grounded in human truth. If Marvel can deliver that, if they can make us care about these four people and their journey, then maybe the MCU hasn't died. Maybe it just needed to remember what it was about. But if they fail, if the Fantastic Four is just another generic superhero movie designed to sell toys and set up sequels, then the audience might finally give up on Marvel entirely. That's the real test. Not whether the Fantastic Four can save the world, whether they can save the MCU. Look, I want Marvel to win us back. I want to feel that excitement again. I want to believe that the MCU can recapture the magic that made Endgame such a cultural phenomenon. But it starts with this. It starts with the Fantastic Four proving that Marvel can remember how to tell stories about people, not just content about characters. The question isn't whether the Fantastic Four will save the world. The question is whether it'll save Marvel. And I guess we'll find out soon enough. I honestly can't wait to see the movie. It's coming out on the 25th of July, which is not that far away. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. Throw a like if you like the video, and do subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this.
And now, for the first time ever at Marvel Studios, we can make a Fantastic Four movie.
Action! We're gonna build this retro future world. Build real sets, real locations. Reed's lab and the Baxter building, this incredible Times Square backlot set.
Fire it up!
We built practical suits. We are your family.
Just seeing the four of them together is going to be worth the price of admission.